everybody, and welcome to the Prolific Sprints. It is 4 p.m. on Friday, September 8th. I don't know about the rest of you, but this Mars-Uranus combination has got my head just all over the place. And yes, I'm being productive, but woo doggy, I can't even get words out of my mouth. So I hope y'all doing well today. Let me run the banner and get my head straight, and I'll explain to you what we do here. Hello. Okay, so my name is KibbyRose. What we do here is we do 20-minute sprints, usually 4 of them, broken up with little conversations in between. I'm going to be talking about a lot of crazy things today, so I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. I am here to basically distract you so that you can get those things that you hate to get done. So 20 minutes. Get work done, me distract you if I can even get words out. We'll see how well this goes. Blah, blah, blah. What is it? Something in broccoli. Rhubarb and broccoli. That's what you're supposed to say. Rhubarb and broccoli. Okay. So, yes, prolific sprints and everything else. Cora is here. Help me. No, I'm just kidding. Hello, everyone. Doing some schooling with my son today and trying to rest. Well, you do need to rest. I'm glad that you're trying to rest. I'm glad everything is going well. And the little one's schooling. Oh, gosh. I wanted to ask you, are you doing preschooling type stuff or are you doing regular schooling type of stuff? Like first grade, second grade? How old is your little one? And if you are starting him at like 2 years old, because I swear he was like 2 or 3, I'm impressed. That is, yes, girl, get a head start on the game. Go for it. I love it. I am going to be, I didn't even tell anybody what I'm working on. Well, I'm going to be working on basically reading through and trying to refigure out my character for the mage game. I filled in my spheres, realized I did them wrong. Printed out a new one. Then I found a bunch of notes on Sons of Ether and the actual game and the talent or the abilities description a little bit more. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm hoping that somewhere in here it'll tell me how to break down the spheres, because I know there's a mathematical thing or whatever to it that, like, it's not one circle per point. I know that. But I don't know how to break it down. So I'm trying to figure that out. And then I'm trying to figure out the background for my character still, because I'm coming back into the game still as the same character with a little bit more abilities, because when I originally came into the game, I was supposed to be a mage that was slightly above the ones that I was being added to. And now, because I've been out of the game for a minute, they've all risen up. So I have to rise up a little bit. The only problem is nobody can remember where my character was. So I've been listening through all the past games, which I'm rather enjoying. And I'm kind of understanding now why I was asked to come back, because I don't know. I guess I'm a natural at role-playing, which is very interesting. I kind of already knew that in other senses, but not in game senses. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what I figure out. We'll see if I can figure this out without going too crazy. And I do have a buddy who hopefully will get back online, because, I'm about to send him a message, and he's kind of been helping me walk through it. So we'll see what happens, shall we? Cora! Kindergarten for my oldest. Nice. My youngest will be doing preschool stuff. They are almost 4 and 6. Actually, so preschool. Well, that's about right. 4 for preschool. See, I started kindergarten at 3.5 because I was so tall and so hyper that they were kind of hoping I'd be hyperactive and learning. So much. However, they never kept me behind, which they should have, because I was so tall all through school. And I did get teased for it, so they weren't wrong about that. But I think it would have benefited me more if I had started school later. So don't be too upset if they're not exactly where they're supposed to be. Besides that, when it clicks, it clicks. And every elementary school teacher will tell you that. Like, some kids struggle, but when it clicks, it clicks. And it all depends, what age it clicks, it all depends. So don't worry about getting them started too late, but get them started now. Do Leapfrog, I heard, is it's not cheap though. But Goodwill has a lot of it. Just saying, Leapfrog is usually a really good instrument. A lot of the people that I know in San Diego started their kids with Leapfrog, and they're like valedictorians now. So, and you can find a lot of people donate it to Goodwill. So there's a little avenue for you that might help you out and might stress you less, especially as the pregnancy, continues. So, are we ready to get into our first sprint? I haven't even shared my window yet, so let me go ahead and add the timer here because, we're professionals. Let me do this, and I've got like 3 chats going here that I need to move. Okay, so here we are with our 20 minutes on the clock. And I will come back in 20 minutes and entertain you. And what would this say? What does this say? I homeschooled my nephew, so I know I always play catch up a little later. Yeah, I had to do that with him. And a lot of kids, like I said, once it clicks, and their minds are so malleable. And so many kids are quick at learning these days because just computers, just what you have to know and how you have to handle a computer or a phone or whatever else these days. Yeah, kids are smart these days. Well, they said that about us too, but that's the way it's supposed to go. If we weren't getting smarter as the younger generation, I would have worries and concerns for the future of humanity. Anyway, so 20 minutes on the clock. In 3, 2, 1. Sprint. And don't forget to mute yourself. And that's the end of that one. How did everybody do? Were we successful? I was. Oh, I'm actually impressed with how much I have learned in such a short amount of time. And I'm still I'm feeling a little flattered at the moment because I didn't realize how good I was at role-playing games, and I got complimented on it, and I just got complimented again on it, and I don't know. I'm kind of just like, oh, thank you. As my cheeks turn red. So I was able to figure out a lot of my attributes. I was able to understand a lot about what I'm now dealing with when it comes to knowing what to roll and combinations and all that stuff. And now I'm just kind of creating my cheat sheet that has all of this information kind of regarding what I have, what other people's abilities are, what we all have that connects us together, things I want, like a baffle jacket. I want a baffle jacket, dude. I really do. And I want a Doom feature. I went through this spreadsheet and I'm like, there's so many things I want. This is going to be so much fun. If I'm allowed to have them. And I have sunlight on a necklace, evidently. And yeah, I forgot I could create electricity with my fingers. I forgot that I'm able to just snap and blink to a location. There's a lot of stuff I forgot about. And there's questions I have too that have come up. Like, why did the Sons of Ether give me a fidget spinner when I left Horizon? And what was it supposed to be used for? Now I'm curious. And I'm wondering if the Game Master even remembers. I'm curious about that too. We'll see what happens. Cora, almost lost an eye to a 5-year-old with a pencil. You don't have to be 5 for that to happen. Do you know how many times I've been twirling my pen and it like flink? So don't feel bad. Today's big lesson, don't jump or run with sharp pencils. Isn't that a lesson you're supposed to learn at 5? Isn't that what we say to grown adults anyway when they run around like that? You're acting like a 5-year-old. Well, now you know why they say it. You're like, yep, my 5-year-old. Oh yeah, and I have an endless refrigerator. I have to put that down. Evidently, it's like a Mary Poppins refrigerator that I can have anything in. I'm honestly, like, considering, okay, this is kind of funny because I'm thinking back to when I was a kid and I was so good at let's pretend. I used to have friends like get mad at me because I was just like, let's pretend. I was so good at it. I like worlds were created and explored and everything else. So yeah, I'm now coming up with all these ideas and everything else because I've been listening back to the games to try to figure out, because here's the thing. I started kind of cheating because I was like, well, what's the quickest way for me to catch up and like maybe get the upper hand on things? And I was like, ooh, I'll just listen to all the sessions. I'll come up with stuff that was used way back at the beginning when I played, and maybe I can apply it in the future. Well, in the process, I've also learned a bunch of things that I've had, and I've also learned where my point scales are and where all that stuff is. And I also realized I was pretty good at this. Yes, I'm obsessing over this game. Okay, get off it. Anyway, but I am obsessing over this game, and it's kind of consuming my mind right now because I'm in the middle of playing it, or not in the middle of playing it. I'm about to start playing it. So I'm trying to rebuild my character in my head. And yeah, so I hope you all are having a great day, which also reminds me, where did it go? Where did it go? my cheat sheet, because I have become a potions master, or not a master, but I've become a potions maker in the game. And I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. I have a couple potions that I have to pull out and pull up. Where is it? That one too. This one. Love this one. So that I can have some little cheating notes for that too. So since I shared books on my last one, I'm going to share another book. This book is actually the companion to this book. I shared this book about, I'm going to say 6 months ago when I got it. Because even though it says a beginner's guide, it's really not a beginner's guide. It's actually more of a good reference guide for a seasoned witch. So, and as you can see, I already have tabs in it and I've already put notes in it and everything else. But this is her companion spell book. And I haven't been able to dive into it yet, but that is one thing I wanted to do today because I have notes on here that I needed to look up some spells. And I'm actually eager to look into it, and I'll let you know how I like it. This has become literally a go-to reference guide, just like my Cunningham. But and this one is by Nikki Vanderkar. And the illustrations are by Katie Vernon. Well, Katie, I love your illustrations. And Nikki, I love your book. So if you need a good magical or just the go-to guide of a basic witch, because there's so much that we have to remember, and it's kind of like a mage game. As you move up in levels, you forget about some simple stuff. This is a great go-to guide. So I'm ready to get back into another sprint because I want to dive into this book and kind of get a good feel for it and look at it, because honestly I haven't even opened yet. And I don't know about y'all, but I love getting my hands on a book that's never been opened. Just the crispness and the smell of it. Love new books. So let's put the counter back on the clock, and I'm going to have to reset it because, yeah, we're professionals here. So reset, and let's try not bouncing things. There we go. All right. And in 3, 2, 1, sprint. And don't forget to mute yourself. And that's the end of that sprint. How did we all do? Did we have fun? No, I'm just kidding. I actually did have fun. So my character picked up potion making. Well, I love this book. Literally. Herbs to aid with hunting. Herbs to help with opening locks. I have come up with a happiness bag, with a protection bag, with a calming spray, with a courage tincture. I might have a little bit of a repertoire of things. Like, I'm definitely going to have what is it? What did I have? I was going to make something for Oren. Oh, I'm making mustard covered sunflower seeds for Oren because he's like always depressed and he's always got anxiety. So evidently those, like, I can't wait. So I literally love Cunningham's book. So literally, if you need cheat sheet, it's the best way. So what did you all work on? Because I literally just came up with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spells, tinctures, and Wiccan bags to help with a variety of things. And that is what I did in that 20 minutes. So how did the rest of you all do? I hope you were able to get some work done. We got 2 more sprints after this. So if you haven't been able to get the first, you've still been slacking off, because, you know, for a lot of people right now, that's kind of momentum. You got 2 more sprints to catch up. So I'm so stoked and I'm so productive. And you know what's really funny to me? As I was reading my horoscope, because I've been lonely. I want a girlfriend. I haven't been able to find one or anyone who's interested. And the person that is interested, too much history, and she knows it. And yeah. So I've been trying to like not be down on myself lately. So diving into this and being excited about this and really looking forward about like getting my hands dirty and whatever else. It's going to be a good distraction. And my horoscope even said that even though I've been lonely for a time, like my intelligence, my communications, and my capabilities were going to super exceed my expectations or something like that. And like my creative outlet was like a new creative outlet was going to be explored, and it was going to be able to be applied to other things. And I was like, I don't have any new creative outlets right now. Like, I'm working on everything, and I think I found it. So my horoscope might not have been wrong. What did you put? I think we are done with school. He just doesn't want to put it away. Well, then don't make him put it away. If he wants to keep learning, let the kid keep learning. Mom's tired. I know mom's probably tired. So what did my mom used to do? My mom and dad used to just sit me up with Sesame Street and be like, here you go, honey. But that was also that was almost 40 years ago. Yeah. What else? 30 years old. Jeez. Wow. I don't feel 40. If you ask me how old I was, I don't feel 40. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to my baddie in the mage game, Alan. Or in the game, he's Alan, I think. Oh, forgive me. I don't know what your real name is. That's so funny. I know your screen name and character names, but I don't honestly know it. I'm sure I know it, but I just can't think of it. But thank you for reaching out to the boss and getting me that sphere sheet, because that is going to come in very handy, because I think I can figure out my spheres because if for anybody, well, none of you know, basically the guy who sent me a spreadsheet with the amazing breakdown of everything, the only breakdown it didn't have was for the spheres. And I was like, I kind of need the spheres. So he reached out to the boss, or I reached out to him, said, if you could, I would love a breakdown like this, but for the spheres. He got back to me. I love fast, efficient people. I love it. It's awesome. So I'm going to be looking into that my next sprint, and trying to figure out the rest of my spheres. I think because I kind of remember where my character was. And now that I have kind of a layout of the different tiers of what this, when I say spheres, I mean these little round dots that are next to these things. I don't mean like the spheres that is actually down here. I need to come up with a new terminology for it. But I'm pretty sure as long as I have the breakdown that I asked for, I'm going to be able to figure out my character, because listening back on the games, I got a pretty good idea in a general sense of what she was and what level she was at. So I'm gonna do my best in my abilities and just try to figure out where I was and how to be able to get there. He's done. He just wants to leave it out. No, got to clean up the mess. If you're done with it, put it away. I have ADD. So that was so important for my mother to instill in me, is don't leave your piles. If you start a project, even if you're not done with it, put it away. Because the chances with my ADD of getting back to that project eventually was going to be like, well, if you all have ADHD, you know, it could be as soon as the next day, or it could be like 6 months later, or never, because you totally forget about it. I also learned that this is how I figured out what was actually important to me to get done and what wasn't. Because when you put everything away, the stuff that really is bothering you to get done will nag at you. Or it does for me anyway. So, you know, I kind of, I don't know. I kind of feel bad for anybody who comes over to my house. So this is for all of you. This is for Cora. This is for Sako. But this is for all of my friends out there that know me. I'm just going to say this. When you come to my house, just because it looks spotless and clean and like a model home, you're allowed to touch and sit and do whatever you want. I'm just putting that out there. Because evidently I maintain my house the same way that my mother did when I grew up. And I remember a lot of my friends telling me that they didn't feel comfortable in my house because it was so clean, and they felt awkward, like even just moving something to play Nintendo or whatever. And I'd be like, we live here. Don't worry about it. Like my mom's like, you know. So I just want to put it out there because I was kind of stepping back and looking at my house today, and I was like, you know, it kind of, I don't know. I guess my mom kind of raised me to be a little OCD as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have my piles. Like, I even admitted today my biggest junk drawer is my makeup drawer. But any girl knows, like, trying to organize, like, screw it. Unless you have, like, containers and everything and you got to, like, the space for it. Screw it. So, but yeah. So all my friends that when you guys come over, please don't feel uncomfortable that my house is like spotless. Just for y'all that know me, you already know. Like Sandy, I don't even have to worry about Sandy. She knew me growing up. She knows. I ain't even worry about her. But the rest of y'all that I've met in the last 2 or 3 years since I haven't had my own place. Yeah. And it's kind of funny to me because that was also kind of one of the big complaints I had when I lived with my mother is like, I don't clean every week. I clean every other week. But my mom cleaned every week, every Friday morning after she retired, especially. Vacuum. Didn't matter. 8 o'clock hit, vacuum. Like it was your 8 o'clock alarm. And sometimes it was on Saturdays. And sometimes, well, growing up, most of the time from January to May-ish, it was me and my sister doing it because mom was doing musicals on Saturday. So, you know, it was either rehearsals or shows. So, but yeah, even in adulthood, living with her for a minute, Friday morning, 8 a.m., vacuum. And I do apologize to my mother for those days because here's another thing that if you don't know this about Kibby, do not wake me up out of a dead sleep in any other way than by an alarm. I do not wake up well. I punched my ex-husband when he tried to wake me up. My partner can usually do it, but you've got to like snuggle me. I got snuggles. I love morning snuggles anyway. But yeah, do not like push me awake or jolt me awake. You will get a horrible version of me. And I don't even mean it, but it's literally I swear I transport to another world when I sleep. I know everybody says they do, but no, I think I literally astral project to another world when I sleep. And when you jolt me awake like that, the shock of me coming back to reality is so intrusive that the only way I can wake up is defensive. And it's not, and I'm black belt. I've been trained for 15 plus years. You put my defenses up, you're going to get a fighter. And granted, especially if you call my bluff, I'm better at it as an adult. Like when I'm awake, it's not the instant reaction, but it is if I'm asleep. So, and I have no idea how I got on that. There's a tangent for you. So we're going to jump into our next 20-minute sprint. And I'm actually going to go smoke. Yes, I'm going to smoke, but I'm also going to take my medication because if y'all haven't seen me, like all of a sudden this shoulder just like completely started locking up. And I think it's actually this side. So I need to go take my meds and hopefully that'll unlock. I need a massage. I need a girlfriend so I can have a massage from my girlfriend. Someday. I've only been single for 2 years, right? Anyway, we're going to add the clock back up. I had it. I was going to say, I have it set back at 20. There you go. So 20 minutes back on the clock. I will see you guys in 20 minutes. I'll probably leave the camera on, but I'll be I won't be here. So in 3, 2, 1, and sprint. Oh yeah, you have to push it over here. And don't forget to mute yourself. And that is the end of that sprint. How do we all do? I did well. Again, I have decided that I came up with some jams this time. Not like music jams, but like actual like food jams that the characters can eat at breakfast that will, what are they called? They're for protection. And then I've come up with a spray that will help enhance our psychic awareness. I've also come up with more to the calming spray. And I'm working on the depression and happy bag. Or as we called it, the Winky Cakes. Because other than the lovely Mary Jane, I want to add more to the Winky cookies to make them more winky. So that is what I'm working on. Cora, Miss Cora, I finally got to relax. Oh, put your feet up, kick your shoes off. I got to relax a little bit too, but in a different way. My neck is still cut. I've been having, the truth is like, not, yes, the medication's great. Yes, the stress has dropped, but now I'm having nightmares. Like, I had the strangest nightmare last night where I literally woke up and went, nope. And I just was like, if that was a kid having that nightmare, they'd be running to their parents right now. Like, the one thing I can remember vivid that I don't want to remember it. I'm sure I could remember it more if I tried, but I don't want to. But I just remember seeing like this melted face scooting across the bottom of my view. And I just woke up. That's all I remember. And I was like, nope. I'm not dealing with a talking, half-melted, decapitated head that's moving across the floor. I am good. Thank you, brain. So I'm trying, I'm having nightmares, but I'm like, but they're not like, it's that kind of thing where I'm like waking up and I'm just like, yep, no. I mean, I've watched enough horror movies in my life. I mean, one of my favorite movies is The Cell. So you put 2 and 2 together. Anyway, but I think I've come up with some pretty neat stuff here on that's going to really help me maybe have an advantage in the game, including, I figured out herbs that will call wind and rain, and also that can both call and repel snakes. And if I do remember correctly, I think one of my other players is not all too keen with snakes. And I might use that to my advantage. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Meticulous planning, I guess. If I did this kind of plan, well, I did kind of do this kind of planning with my life, and this is where it got me. So I guess I'm getting better. Hey, Mom, I'm getting better at meticulously planning things and having them pan out. Aren't you proud of me? It only took me 42 years to figure it out. Cheers. Literally. Anyways, so Cora finally got to relax. So there's not much to talk on that. Considering the poor woman is raising 3 children, and we all know that technically 4 because she's married. And I'm sorry to any man who's out there, but I was married to a man before, like, while dating women. And can I just say that that is one thing that differs in a female relationship. There is less, well, it depends on the person, but I've noticed there's less maintaining of the other person. So I guess that's That's a one up for dating women, considering we're so dramatic and emotional, and God help you both if you end up PMSing at the same time. Woo! You know, and that's always my answer. When guys ask me, oh, is it easier dating a girl? You be in some sort of little tiff right when you both start pre-PMSing, and you tell me if it's easier. And unfortunately, it also depends on the sign, but women are women. And when women are PMSing, like, I don't know, Mother Bear Lion comes out, it's like, I don't know, it's just weird to me. But yeah, that's my take on it. Like, there's pluses and minuses. So here's the thing: you date a man, you're basically taking care of another kid. You date a woman, there's a little bit more emotional baggage. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. Because they pretty much rank the same in how they take care of each other. And because I know guys that are just as meticulous in doing their laundry as women are, and same with maintaining the house, and same with cooking. So there's a lot of it that, yeah, is very much equal when it comes to male and female. And I'm taking this from my own personal experience of dating both. But I prefer women. I'm sorry, you guys. Women are just prettier. They're just funner to look at. I'm sorry, but they are. Like, you can watch a woman talk for hours. I can't say that. Well, for me, I can't do that with a guy. It doesn't. I don't know, and I don't like facial hair, so that's also a big thing. So anyway, we've got, what time is it? Oh, we've got time for one more sprint, and it's Friday night, so I ain't got nothing to do after this, which I'm really stoked on, honestly. So we'll put 20 minutes back on our little calendar clock here. Counter clock. If I can do it. Bink, bink, bink. Bink for me. Thank you. Okay. Add. All right. So another 20 minutes on the clock. I'm debating because I didn't really get to go smoke last break. If I want to work or do that. So we'll see. We'll see what Kibby ends up doing. If I disappear from screen, y'all know where I am, and I'll be right back. So in 3, 2, 1, sprint. You have to press play. It only works one way. And then don't forget to mooch yourself. And that's the end of that. And you are correct. Okay. Well, so that was an interesting 20 minutes for me. So I took my little break outside, was dancing, got hit on by a really cute girl that drove by. Literally stopped me in the middle of what I was doing just to tell me that she really liked my dancing. So I was kind of giggling, and yeah. But I also came in out of breath. And then I'm dealing with my phone because lovely Apple updates. So I'm waiting for the one to come in on my computer, which I think it came in as I was streaming because I see the little number next to my systems thing. So been dealing with that, and I figured out that for my room for the mage game, I am going to have ivy growing everywhere because ivy is a protective thing. So or protective herb. So I'm gonna have ivy growing everywhere, and I'm gonna infuse it with prime. And I'm gonna see if I can do that around the node as well, which reminds me, I need to see if we can. So Raina's node with the puka. Herbal wall of protection. That's what I'm thinking of pretty much. Okay, so now that I've figured out more things that I want to do in the game and had a very interesting little break, little 20 minutes, I would say it was pretty productive. Cora watched through a video to make sure it was good for a video to upload. That is one of the reasons why I do lives and not like videos like that. I hate rewatching myself. Because all I can do is be like, why'd you do that? Why are you doing that? Stop touching your hair. Stop touching. Like, there's so many corrections I give myself. And I think that literally comes from growing up, both being a dancer and in karate, and constantly watching yourself in the mirror and being like, no, straighten that arm, straighten that leg, turn that hip more. So it was always just one of those things where, like, now if I watch myself back on a video, I can't, because I'm just constantly critiquing myself, and then I get down on myself, and it just kind of sucks. So I give you props for being able to watch yourself back, because that's why I live stream. Should be an easy edit, which I will need since Monday is anatomy scan for the baby. Longest ultrasound. Oh God, that sounds uncomfortable. Is that external or internal? Because I've had screw the internal ultrasounds, man. No, screw those. Yeah. So, oh look, the software update finished. Okay, well, that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. Yeah, I'm excited that you are going to get the ultrasound of the baby. And as long as it's happy and healthy, see, now I'm all nervous to like make a bet with you about this baby now, because I was so wrong the first time. But I swear, okay, yeah, if this baby doesn't end up being very feminine, I'm going to be very surprised, because it just, everything about this child just feels so feminine to me. Oh, and in a couple of weeks is going to be good, because it was a pop-up scam that came up from an adult site, and my son decides to chime in. So OnlyFan impersonators have decided to reach out to people to try to scam them. Well, I'm not surprised. I would actually expect that to have come sooner, considering how popular OnlyFans is. Like, you can make a ton of money on there, and you don't even have to like be naked. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I know a girl that was making like a couple $100,000 a year just off of pictures of her feet. I was like, that's kind of impressive. But no, it's not me. No, I don't have an OnlyFans. I do have an OnlyFans account, but I don't do OnlyFans. It's external. Okay. They have to make sure all of the baby organs are good. Yes. All the internals. You know, if wow, my head is stuck on this game. My head was like, you know, if you had Prime, you'd be able to just see the baby and be able to tell it's okay. You know, one of my notes to myself about my character is lose the attitude. How does a Scorpio not be a Scorpio? I don't mean to have attitude. Like, those who know me know it's not attitude. It's my personality. It comes off wrong sometimes, though. I got the number from a friend, so kids were not exposed. Oh, good. The scammer had to ask, though. Had to ask if you were a kid or if there was kids present. Had to ask if you were a kid. You know, Cora, you sound like a kid. Or were you using one of your voices and they thought, I wonder if you were using one of your voices and they thought that you were a kid trying to sound like an adult and not an adult just trying to sound different. I would crack up if that was the case. So the scammers are now being cautious. Go figure. With, you know, I'm so glad, like, that gives me a little bit of faith, but it also gives me a little bit of resentment. It's kind of like, how dare you? How dare you be cautious? You're scammers. Like, just do your thing. And if we catch you, if you get caught, you get caught. If you're the dummy, you know, you'd say we're the dummies if we get caught in your scan. Well, you're the dummy if you get caught. So just, you know, reverse it on them. But anyway, I wonder if that was the case. I wonder if they thought you were a kid trying to be an adult and they're like, excuse me, young lady. No, you cannot have access to an adult website. You're like, honey, I've got 3 kids. But then again, this day, you know, there was a time, not this day and age, but there was a time when having 3 kids didn't mean you were an adult. So anyway, and on that, he asked me why. Oh, he asked me why I was watching it. And I said I wanted to know where babies come from and make sure I was doing it. Well, I'm doing scientific research because, you know, the birds and the bees weren't just really discussed with me and with my parents. And, you know, sex ed only goes so deep. So I had to like get into the study because I do a lot of research on things and I had to make sure I was doing it right. You know, there's only one way to pick a baby. I just snorted. Oh, Lord. That's what I get. So yeah. But no, that's totally a legit reason. It's totally a legit reason. Or you are a high school student doing research for sex ed. You have a presentation. You just want to make sure that you're giving it right. You know, got to have all the details included. Got to know the different maneuvers and positions. He was like, you're watching that in front of the kids. Yes, I'm watching it. How else am I supposed to study? You know, I do have kids. I have to keep an eye on them. Where else am I supposed to study? Come on now. What, I'm just supposed to like not expose them to that? Come on. We all know what it is. Anyway, and I'm going to end it on that note since I'm turning on my Valley girl. Like totally from California. If you can't tell that I was like born and raised in California, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm going to end it on that note and drop the Cali girl because I can't stand it anymore. Honestly, just to survive there, I had to be it brings nothing but bad memories and stress. So if you liked this stream, go ahead and hit that like button. Make the YouTube gods and fairies and elves happy. Thank you to my rosebuds that do watch on repeat. I see you and I appreciate it. I watch those views go up and I really do appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Check out Sako Tumi's channel. Psycho Sako for the mage game that I keep rambling on about. I need to put a link in it down below. And you guys have a wonderful Friday night. Go out, live it up, live up this good energy, shake off Mercury retrograde, And I will see you guys later. Have a great night. Bye.